Welcome, everybody. It is so exciting to have you here to celebrate you. And we mean the full you, the vast field of love that you are. I've always felt that Valentine's Day was a little limited and kind of short-sighted and bringing it just to romance when there's so much more, and we are so much more than that. So I thought we'd start with a meditation to ground in who and what we truly are. So if you'd like to get comfortable, and you might want to mute your computer there, turn off your cell phone. And get comfortable where your spine is supported. And throughout this meditation, if I give directions that don't feel good to you, then ignore those and take care of you. You're the expert on you. Cindy's got her blankie. All right. So bringing your attention to a soft inner focus where either your eyes are closed or your eyes are partially closed. And drawing inward. And noticing your body. Noticing where your body meets the couch or the chair. Feel the force of gravity drawing you down. And feeling the ground beneath you. We often talk about grounding. Why is grounding so important? It brings us in and down. Our mind can be like a wild monkey jumping out, this distraction and this pretty thing, this shiny thing. But when we come inward, then we're truly embodied. We're in our experience. We're present. And grounding is what helps us do that. So if ever you're feeling a little spacey or jumpy, just remember to come in and down. Notice where your feet meet the floor. Feel the weight of your pelvic bowl like rock. And begin to notice how your breath begins to slow down, simply when you come down into your body. And invite your body to melt, to let go of any tension it might be holding. Let your shoulders drop, the hinge of your jaw release, your face melt. Feel yourself set down any burdens, any have-tos or things to do, and give yourself a vacation to simply be. Feel your scalp hang on your skull and feel a wash moving down your head, down your neck, so that your shoulders begin to drop. Warm relaxation washing down like a shower. Soft, soothing, relaxing. And bringing this warmth into your chest so that your lungs and your heart relax. Imagine your internal organs like clouds, and you could breathe right through them, letting go of any inner tension that you might not even know you have. Feel a wave of relaxation wash down from the base of your skull all the way down to your tailbone, your whole back relaxing,
Movement.
your spine lengthening. And notice the rhythm of your breath, not trying to change anything, just becoming aware of it. Feel the breath move down into your rib cage, and feel your rib cage expand sideways so that the lungs have even more room to breathe. Feel that relaxation move down your arms and into your hands, into your fingers, all the way down your legs, into your feet, your toes. Notice if your toes are at all curling or clenching, and let your toes soften and open. Coming into that soft presence of the heart as we celebrate you. Each breath circulating the energy of pure love, pure acceptance, no exceptions. Every part of you is fully embraced. Bringing your awareness into your belly. Feel the belly rise and fall as you breathe. Boundless, vast, infinite love filling up your belly. Your belly where we feel our tender emotions, where we know things, we feel it in our gut. And I invite you to listen in this moment to what your gut is telling you, or perhaps just letting it know that you're listening. No pressure. Knowing that today is a day that we say yes to every part of ourselves, of each other, of the universe. Feel the belly breathing in all directions, soft and floppy. Notice how when you breathe in your belly, you automatically feel more in your body. Today, we'll focus on two areas of the body, the belly and the heart. And once we feel connected to our belly. We feel inside our belly, feeling our way, the sensations of our body in our belly. And next, we're going to move up into the heart. And feel your heart begin to expand as you breathe, first into the belly and then up into the heart. So you take an inhale, breathing into the belly, and then up into the heart. And then letting it all go. Again, breathing into the belly, all directions. Breathing up into the heart. And letting it all go, emptying out. And notice what it feels like to breathe into your heart. To soften and let your heart melt layer by layer, breath by breath. Sometimes there's a feeling of wanting to escape. There's just too much feeling in there, too much emotion, too much tenderness. That's okay. Just be patient with your heart. Let it know that you're here supporting it. Your higher self, your vast beingness, is supporting your tender human heart. Always. This vast field of love that you are never turns away. Unconditionally accepts whatever is brought to it. This unified field of love that links everything, nature, the trees, the rocks, the clouds, every being, some that are here, some that aren't, some that have passed, some that are yet to be born. All in the now, there's no difference. And invite your heart to turn on its receptive capability, where you receive the fullness of the universal love that you are. A lot of times we give, but today we're going to do both, and we're going to focus on receiving that endless, boundless love that is the stuff of the universe. It's the fundament of consciousness. And so I invite you to invite in about 10% more than you usually let in. Notice how that feels. Now invite in another 10%. Ooh, it might start to feel a little weird. That's okay. Just let it in and let it flow. Whatever emotions arise, whatever feelings, thoughts, there's room for it all. Nothing is turned away. And let's push your upper limit a little and let in about 10% more. Just feeling that love expand your heart, bigger than you ever thought possible. You might even recall a time when your heart just burst. It was so full. Invite that experience into the now. Noticing what your upper limit is. Is there a place where it's just too much? Or is it not enough? What if you let all that go and surrendered to big love, universal love, that which is bigger than all of us, that has no limits, and breathe that in. Noticing how it feels in your physical heart. Is it a warmth? A buzz? Is it a light? And know that your physical heart is always here as long as you are here, and even beyond that, into the infinite. Our heart, our big heart, our infinite heart is infinite. But say you're off center, you're struggling, you can always return to your physical heart, your ticker in your chest, and take a moment to tune in, to listen. To invite it to receive the boundless love that you are. And notice, sometimes it's like a paradox. Your heart can feel so full and yet empty at the same time, empty of content, empty of thoughts, of buts, of what's, just wide open. And when our human heart syncs up with wide mind, wide heart, that's when we are fully who we are. Every bit, every cell, every atom comes home. So invite your body, your breath, your heart, your consciousness to remember this, to know that this is who you are. And you are always home. And when you're ready, you're going to gradually begin the transition back, but bringing with you this sense of expansion. Beginning to stretch. I wanted to start by talking about a video that I recently saw, and a few of you have seen it. It's by Zach Bush, who just happens to be from Boulder, and he's a physician, a scientist, into health, farming, kind of a Renaissance man. And he talks about his experience as an ICU doctor. And on one shift, it happened to be 36 hours, he had the experience where 3 of his patients experienced physical death. They coded, so to speak. So in each case, all the doctors and nurses rush in with the crash cart and put the paddles on, do the compressions. And try to bring them back. And in this instance, all three of them came back, which I guess is pretty rare, but all three of them came back. And Zach said that each of these three persons were different races, ages, circumstances, couldn't be more different. But each of them said the exact same thing when they came back. And they said, "Why did you bring me back?" And they all said that their experience was that they went into a space filled with bright light, and for the first time in their life, they felt completely accepted. Completely. The first time in their life, they felt completely accepted. He went on to say about how death is not an endpoint, but a massive expansion of consciousness, where we are free of our physical body, but our consciousness expands and continues. And at that point, we can see the boundless nature of ourselves, where we often can't when we're identified with this form, time, bound to this body. And when I originally heard this, I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, it shows how, consciousness is infinite. It continues after we die. And that essentially love is all that matters when you boil it down to our last breaths. But then I also thought, how sad is it that we don't feel completely accepted until we almost die? And what's up with that? What if we felt completely accepted while we were still here? And of course, we all know it starts within. It starts with ourselves, that acceptance needs to come from within, because essentially we project everything outward. So if we're critical of ourselves, we will project it outside. And to think about, what is it that keeps us from fully accepting every part of ourselves, even those parts of ourselves that we kind of cringe, when they come up. And, we're embarrassed of, or we're like, really, I'm still doing that? And that's what it is to be human. I remember I read a book by Keith Richards, Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones. And he was talking about the gift of being a heroin addict. And he said, well, when you're a heroin addict, you can't be an egomaniac because you humiliate yourself so many times. Well, that's a twist. But he sees the advantage of our imperfections. If we could be perfect, imagine how tense, tight we would be. Would there be humor? So it's never about perfection, even though we all are always kind of trying to get things right, but rather it's about completeness, our wholeness. Can we love the parts of ourselves that we really don't like? That's the key. That's what we're all after, is what would it be like to 100%? Something comes up and you go, oh yeah, screwed up there, missed that, forgot that. That's our humanness that keeps us tender, that keeps us humble, that keeps us in the heart of compassion, where we can't get too arrogant. So I wondered if there was a time when you remember feeling like you completely, or as much as you ever have, accepted yourself. Maybe it was a moment, maybe it was a period of your life. But just take a moment and ask your body, not your mind, when that was and what it felt like to be in your body in complete acceptance. And then I want you, if you would, to link that feeling, that state, to your breath, and to breathe that through your body as if your body were a tree and you had this central channel that goes up and then these little capillaries that go out. And just feel it feeding, filling your whole being with pure love. And when we talk about love and the heart, there's our human love, and then there's universal or big love, what do I want to call it? That field, that resonant field that we're all in. One of the things I found really interesting when I was preparing for this was the reality of the heart. And the heart is the most powerful organ in the whole body in terms of electromagnetic energy. It has more electromagnetic energy than any organ in the body by like 60%. And so when we feel someone's vibe, what we're really feeling is their heart, their beingness, their essence. And when we're kind of out of our head, out of our stuff, that's when we really flow. And I wonder if when you thought of when you felt most expanded in your love, if that was what your experience was like. Anyone want to share their experience of what it was like for them? I'll go on then. So I don't know if you've heard of heart math, but heart math is a program that studies the heart and brings it into very kind of usable terms. And you could do some sort of biofeedback and feel your heart rate and all that kind of thing. But another interesting fact about the heart is that in fetal development, the heart forms and starts beating before the brain even begins to develop. So when people like Joseph Campbell say the heart is what's primary, this is secondary, it's true. In our culture, we have it shifted. We have it turned around, where most people feel like, they need to know everything, think everything, be up and out of their head, out of their body, instead of in their heart, because it's vulnerable, it's messy, it's, it's where you want to cry, it's where you feel things. And yet, it's where it is, It's what matters. And love doesn't judge. Love is not a concept. It doesn't matter what we do, who we are, how we are. When our basis is unconditional love, it truly doesn't matter. And I think of people who, think, well, I've got to do this before this, or I can't really be myself until this, or I have to finish my karma before I die. No, you don't. Life keeps going. It keeps going. None of this really matters. And we make it so complicated. We make it so complicated. We're so hard on ourselves. And what if we truly believed that, we can have a good day or a bad day, but it doesn't matter. That our inner being is like a rock. It's foundational. It doesn't change. It doesn't say no to anything. It just is. Pure acceptance. What would our lives be like? If we felt that at any moment, no matter what we did, we were completely, radically accepted. And then I think, well, how did we move away from that? Like, do babies come in the world, feeling completely accepted? Does it start there? Or, I don't know. These are the questions of mystery. But we do know that when we turn inward, when in those moments, for example, when something dire happens and everything quiets down, love is there for us. It doesn't fail. We can get in its way, we can not hear it, but it's there. And that's the thing to remember, And hopefully our child rearing practices will catch up with that. So, people will say to me a lot of times, well, I forget to tune into big mind, to universal mind. You know what? You don't have to remember. It's there anyway, whether you remember or not. But what if you could sync the two? What if instead of flip-flopping, I'm talking to you and I'm leaning forward and I'm noticing everything, and then I realize, oh, I got kind of tense, and I can relax and feel the wideness of love. What if we didn't flip-flop? What if we could sync the two, where we always felt that wide mind of complete acceptance while we were engaging in something, say, frustrating or something scary? And that's kind of our journey, isn't it? To try to sync up those two, to remember who we truly are, to come home. And in the process, be amused at how we can forget, be amused at our human frailties. So when I think of meditation and coming back to our body, back to our breath, it's kind of the same thing. It's not about, oh shit, I started thinking about, what I was going to do after this. I started thinking about what I was going to cook. Oh, well, when we just relax, we naturally kind of drop back in. Meditation is about effortless presence. It's not about efforting. It's not about doing. Awareness isn't something we do. Awareness is who we are. And it's going to, just like everything in life, goes up and down. We're feeling good, we're not feeling good, our thought comes, it doesn't come, this emotion comes, this, that's just the way it is. That's the foreground. And the foreground is always going to be moving. One of my teachers calls it the moving mind. I like that. Because the mind is always moving. And people think, oh, in meditation, I'm going to make it stop. Good luck. No, it's not about stopping the mind. It's about being with whatever arises and accepting whatever arises. I mean, I was getting ready for this today, and to be honest, I kind of had a shit day. I just couldn't kind of sink into anything. I tried to print something on the computer, it wouldn't work. It was kind of windy and cold out. And, and then I thought, you know what? Doesn't matter. We're here to talk about love. How bad can it be, right? So, to me, that's what we all are here to remember. That we are pure love. We come in that way, we go out that way. We cannot not be love. It's our essence. So we're going to do a second meditation just to kind of drill that home a little more and to feel it in every cell, every atom. So if you'd like to get comfortable again and bring your attention in, we will drop into another meditation. Bringing your awareness inside, breathing into your belly, expanding your breath up into your heart, and inviting your mind and body to release into that larger field of all that is. your heart, one love that we all share. We all breathe the same breath. The breath, the heart of love. And as you breathe, I want you to breathe empty, open space into your heart. Again, feel your heart expand, this time simply with space and your breath. Knowing that you can do this no matter where you are, no matter who's around you, no one will know that your heart is as wide as the universe, or it's contracting, and you're going to bring it back. You're going to widen it back out. We're all always expanding and contracting. There's no limit. And feel this spaciousness like the wide open sky. Vast, boundless. Thoughts and feelings roll by like clouds. This background doesn't change, doesn't move. It's always there. Imagine you could flip the script and you could identify as this wide, vast field of love, of consciousness. And to know that your very consciousness is pure love, without trying, without doing anything. What would it be like to identify as this? And to see your personal self, your personality, your life in the world as this little character that's in the movie. Sometimes the movie's happy, sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's confusing. And you're just the character. This character lives life, and then it dissolves. And we're back into that wide open field that doesn't dissolve, that's always here. And notice when you identify as that, the field from which everything arises, the background instead of the foreground, what happens inside your body? How does your body feel different? How does your breath feel different? And what if you played again with syncing the two, background and foreground? You feel the background and maybe the foreground, maybe your movie at the moment's a bit challenging. Maybe you have feelings coming up that aren't so easy. And just let that wide view embrace those feelings. Let those emotions, those thoughts dissolve into that wider view. Meditation, first and foremost, is about coming into presence, coming home to our bodies, to our beingness. And presence wakes us up to the moment, to what's really going on. And what's going on a little deeper. Oftentimes, what prevents us from going deeper is tension. Tension in our bodies, tension in our minds. So I want you to kind of feel into your body and your mind a little bit. Where are those points where it's just tight? or numb, or life force isn't present. Can you just embrace that part with kindness, with compassion? Resuscitate it with your love? Maybe your shoulders just have this spot. Breathe in, empty, open space, pure love, spacious love. Breathe in softness. Melting and opening the tightest little areas. Breathing in one molecule of space into a tight spot. Then another. And another. Feel that spot begin to soften. Let it know that you are holding it, loving it unconditionally. There's nothing it can do, nothing you can do in this moment to take that away. And when we can experience it in our bodies, then it really comes alive. It's not just a thought or a concept, it's an experience. The Buddha said, the entire universe arises and passes right here in this body. So take a moment to enter into the felt sense of your experience in this moment. And by felt sense, I mean not feelings as in emotions, but that can be part of it, but all the sensations in your body. It can be warmth, it can be a squeezing, a pinching, an openness, kind of like a, what else? A burning, a lightness. We have these bodies, they're instruments of experience. Why not experience it all? And when we open to those experiences, they just move right through. Nothing sticks. It's when we tighten and we clench and we try to control that they get stuck. But when we can surrender to the wide field, be that wide field, it just moves right through. Feel your way into what is happening in your body, rather than trying to observe it from outside as the watcher. Knowing from the inside, knowing by experience, not through an idea or an image of my body, this body, but knowing the body in the body, knowing the breathing in the breathing, feeling the experience in the experience. And then there's a moment where it just kind of all empties out. The arc of an emotion peaks and releases when we give it space to do what it wants to do. And you might recall or even feel in the moment that experience where your consciousness wants to go out and up, where you want to leave this body, get out. And you feel it go up and out into a thought or some sort of abstraction. That's okay. Any moment, you can come back if you want. If your body is relaxed and open, you'll want to be there. You'll want to let experiences, emotions move through you. And fundamentally, there's no out there. There's only in here. You return to your presence not as an act of will, not by forcing your attention, but by recognizing and releasing tensions, by relaxing. When we fully accept what is, who we are, we can relax. There's no resistance. So let yourself relax, melt, dissolve into pure consciousness, pure love, the unseen, the timeless, where all the worlds exist at the same time, the unseen, the seen, where you meet those you love who are no longer here, but yet they are here, always. And give yourself permission to fully trust that the universe has your back. The universe is benevolent. Know that you are completely accepted and that you can feel that in every cell, every atom of your body. Try it on. And coming back to the center of our mandala, the heart. Beginning to bring our attention, our awareness back to the room. You can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, stretch a little. And if you'd like, you can unmute yourself, or David, I don't know if you can unmute everybody. Nope.
They have to do it themselves.
Okay. So you can unmute yourself. So, oops, Laura, that's the word that I'm not supposed to say. And I'm going to accept it anyway. I have this habit of going, so. And so Laura and I edit this. I'm always like, can I ever quit saying so? Well, I'm just going to accept it.
It out. That is, not only was that an incredible, what do you call it, meditation, I'm still out there. But the first one was too. Both of them just got me like I haven't been got in a while. And that's all I can say, but it was really wonderful.
Thank you. I'm so glad. And you know, I think what made it good is I finally said, I'm having a shit day. I can't really organize myself or what I'm going to do. I'm just going to show up.
You seem like you've been having an amazing day.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to share? Alice.
I was just going to share that I mean, I really appreciated both of your meditations and your talk about, it was a reminder to me about the self-acceptance and the expansion of it through my body and the self-love that I know I've been on a bit of a medical journey lately, and I never imagined myself in this situation, and it's all doing pretty good right now, but you just never think it's going to happen to you, and then you have to wear it. You have to accept it. It is my being, my love, my awareness, and just that reminder through and I kind of just zoned out a little bit, but it was all good. I was just kind of in awareness and beauty and love, but it's been, I mean, yeah, it was a great reminder for me that it's already here, and no matter what's going on for me, it's already I'm already in it. Love,
Yeah.
presence, consciousness. And so thanks for just that reminder, and also to bring it into my body.
Yeah. Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And I hope you feel the love of everyone here just holding you, that when we share, we're one love, as Bob Marley said.
Yeah, definitely. It's a little harder on Zoom, but I've had a lot of it through this journey and in my life, and so um, I appreciate the universal love that's that we're all a part of, and I've really tapped into it to help me. So, yeah. So you're all part of it. And thank you.
Shari?
I just want to know how David put a heart on his thing. I really like it. It was so cute.
I have no technical expertise, but I'm going to give you a round of applause. How's that?
Oh,
Give us each a heart, or only yourself?
I
Oh,
can
there
only
you
give
go.
it to myself. Well, Alice
I
gave it to
love it.
Alice gets it. Okay, Alice.
Oh, I love it.
Is there anything else anyone would like to share?
I'll share it. I just don't really have any words. I just lovely is what comes up. And just loving and accepting myself exactly as I am brings tears. So thank you.
Yay. Jan found the heart.
How do you do that? Oh, I bet it's up here.
It's on the bottom where it says reactions.
Okay.
One thing that comes up for me too is that, we're in this little love fest, and as they do in yoga, you can dedicate the merits of your practice. You can dedicate the merits of this practice to those in need, those on the other side, those anywhere. And there's a lot of suffering in the world right now, and who can't use a little unconditional love?
Exactly. Hmm.
Anyone else have anything came up or surprised them, or maybe they think, oh, this is a bunch of crap, whatever. That's
I was
acceptable too.
I was really trying to come up with an answer to, I think, one of your first questions about a time when you felt
Mm.
the most self-acceptance or almost full acceptance. And it's the best I could come up with in recent memory is time. It was right when it was actually the first trip I took abroad. So I was in a completely like different place that I wasn't used to, and I just had started a new job. So I was around a bunch of people that I didn't know, and it was interesting that I just kind of felt like
Mm.
free of any like inhibitions or free of the feeling that I have to, take into account like what people think of me. So I think it kind of feels like at that moment I was the most self-accepting of myself that I've ever been, and free of projections of other people, what they think of me. And so yeah, it was kind of a unique situation I was in, where I just didn't know anybody, and it was in a place where I didn't feel like I had to act a certain way because I was free to act like kind of a dumb tourist. So yeah.
I like that. What if we were all free to be a dumb tourist of the universe each day?
Love that. And Andrew, when you were talking, it made me feel like another country, a new place, a new job. It felt like there was no story, no
Yeah.
story, no story yet that you feel attached to or that you've got going on for them. And it felt like freedom to me, and just like, just being.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense the more I think about it, why I felt that way in that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't it be lovely to be able to just in our daily life that we're in right now to just drop our story? No, I don't know if I can do that, but I think I don't know. It feels like give it a try.
Why
And-
not?
Right?
Yeah. I mean, dragging that story along, how does it really serve us?
Right?
Yeah.
That's what really got me through, was dropping the stories, the shoulds, the oh my gods, and all that kind of stuff, and just staying with what is and being vulnerable too.
Yeah.
So I totally agree.
Yeah. It's interesting how vulnerability, how often we'll do anything we can to avoid it. And yet it's, it's where we open, where we invite in people to join us, where we invite love, where we feel the most. And it's also can be, painful.
Hmm.
Well, I just want to acknowledge all of you, the beauty and love that you are. And thank you for celebrating yourselves, and thank Valentine's Day. I was going to call it Thanksgiving. It is kind of like Thanksgiving.
It is, right?
This is two of my favorite holidays. Yeah, grateful I am that you're all here. And Denny and Jan, I just want to bow to you. I love you very much. Thank you for being here, celebrating this special day. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. No, Suze, yes, so please take it on the road, into your hearts, everywhere you are, because it is there everywhere. And Namaste.
Mm.
Thank you so much, Jane.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Love you.
Bye,
Love
everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.